Face front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Price Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Boingo Writer Gaston, and with me, as always, in the bullpen,
the Vacuuminator. And guys, oh my gosh, I am so excited that it's finally time. We finally did it. Analytical Fanboys isn't the only show that's back now. It's time for another MMWP, baby, because that Royal Rumble was so fucking good. Am I right? Cody won! Cody won, you guys! We're doing a wrestling podcast again, and Cody's in the spotlight! It's my time!
back,
Yeah?
back.
Yeah?
No.
No? No? Oh. Oh. Oh, it's it's that one.
Yeah.
We're doing that one.
Mhm.
All right, I'm just gonna.
This was
Just gonna-
scheduled beforehand.
Yeah.
This was planned.
I'm just gonna. You know what? Just give me a minute. I'm just gonna mute my mic and I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna do a thing real quick. Don't worry about me. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Well,
Ah, damn it, you fucking idiot! What the hell is wrong with you, you stupid asshole? You fuck everything up! Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! Okay, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine. You can still do the show. Show's still gonna be good. Nothing bad happened. I mean, the episode was bad, but there's nothing in the news. You're gonna be fine. Just put on the right fucking beanie and get back out there, and it'll be great. It'll be good. Okay. Unmute. I'm back.
yeah,
How-
you're certainly
How we
back.
doing?
You're certainly back. How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm great. What are we doing tonight?
Well, as always, welcome to No Price Podcast, a podcast where we talk Marvel comics, movies, merchandise, and more. As I said, I'm Boingo Writer. This is Vac from the bullpen,
Hey.
and he represents the Distinguished Competition. And speaking of Distinguished Competition, hey, Superman had some competition this week, as
Oh,
we're
did he?
going to War World.
War World, which is an episode of this show that is so universally reviled that I have never seen it until today. And yeah, I don't know what people were so worked up about. This episode is fine.
It's fine.
Like, it's not great, but it's fine.
I mean, it's a prototypical, like, what if Superman was John Carter story.
Yeah, it's just Mongol doing Mongol shit. Granted, it's not my Mongol. My Mongol is the modern version who actually gets in there and is much more tyrannical. But this is how you do a Mongol story.
Yeah, early Justice League did have to find its footing, but it, like, find its footing for the show as it starts off at a 7 and then eventually hits a 10.
Yeah.
Whereas most
Like,
shows...
if the show had stayed like this for its whole run, it still would have been remembered fairly well.
Yeah. This was honest. I genuinely liked it, but I'm always a sucker for, like, barbarians and shit.
Mm.
You know, because it's what if Superman was a gladiator?
Exactly.
That's a good.
Excuse
That's
me.
a good premise. There's a reason they keep going back to it. There's a reason a recent comic run that Vac has sung its praises of very regularly did it.
The Action Comics War World Saga by Philip Kennedy Johnson, available in free trade paperbacks from DC at your local comic book store right now.
Boingo the Barbarian, more like Boingo the Librarian. I got books.
I understood that reference.
I got books. They're made of paper.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, Mongol might be a bit of a limp-dicked antagonist in this, in that, like, all he ever does is talk about, like, oh, as long as I do the games, nobody's going to care about anything. But it's Mongol. Up
Yeah.
until very recently, with that book I just plugged, Mongol was kind of the biggest joke of the DC universe. He's the guy you bring in when you want the superhero to fight a big strong guy from space, but you don't want to damage anybody else's reputation.
Bro, this frame you picked out looks super gay. Buster,
You,
what's
you look
gay about
super
one
gay.
man pounding another guy? What's gay about that?
This is just wrestling. That's
What's
all
what
this looks like. This is just professional wrestling right here.
what's
We are doing an
gay?
MWP right now.
What's gay about two men pounding each other? Come on.
Hmm.
Get your mind out of the gutter. I liked this episode. I thought this was fine. It's
Yeah.
not Shakespeare.
I mean, I'll admit my favorite part of it wasn't even the main plot. I liked the side plot where we finally get to see uh John and Hawkgirl interact a little bit
Oh
when
yeah.
they're going on their whole Find Superman adventure.
Yeah. I also like how Martian Manhunter got some things to do here.
Hmm.
That he just wasn't the uh essentially he's the Jean Grey of the show. He's the my psychic powers. Oh,
Yeah.
because that's Jean Grey. She's like, oh, my psychic powers. I have found out this week. I am just a really big Martian Manhunter fan.
He's a good character.
If I had a nickel for every time a green-skinned superhero longs to connect to humanity, but through humanity's ignorance is unable to, I would have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it happens twice.
Yeah.
Oh no, okay, we'll get into it later, but I hung out with Cody for a little bit today. We went to a comic book store, we walked in, they had a fucking life-size statue of Alex Frost styled Martian Manhunter,
Oh,
and I was just like, fuck, yeah, I love that shit.
that's nice.
Oh
I
yeah.
like that.
Martian Manhunter is a goat.
Hmm.
Um but
And
back
he,
to
and
the
he gets some cool stuff to do in this story. I like the bit where he pretends to be Mongol and then fucks it up right away.
well, I mean that it's understandable why he fucked up. It's just like he can't. He's trying.
Hmm.
But the Superman moment where like the crowd's turning on his friend and he's like, "Fuck, they're gonna kill him." Superman, Superman, Superman.
It's the
Yeah,
goofiest thing, but it totally works.
yeah, that guy is pretty super.
Hmm.
Um. So we've talked about Mongol and how he's like not the Mongol everyone likes currently. He's classic Mongol. He's very jobber era Mongol.
Yeah, Mongol's kind of lame, or was kind of lame. Sorry.
Um, until he gets his one really good story.
Yeah.
Um, but how do we feel about Superman's like the other character Superman has to fight? I can't remember his name.
Uh, Neither do I. I don't think they said his name
They said it once
ever.
or twice.
Okay. But yeah, like he's just another gladiator boy in the pit who feels like he has to fight to keep his planet safe. And I've seen characters like this a bajillion times, but he does work fairly well in this story.
Oh yeah, he's not the same Mongol, and that's what we're saying is like Vac prefers the contemporary Mongol rather than the
Mhm.
classic Mongol.
Yeah, this just ain't my Mongol. Hashtag not my Mongol.
Um, isn't this a character from the comics? This isn't a new guy, right? Isn't there like an alien dude who's like Superman beat me and now I must beat him in combat?
There, there probably is, but I don't know if this is that guy, and I didn't recognize this guy at all.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mhm.
Because I remember like watching a comic pop episode and they were like, "Oh, there's this fucking weird alien dude with like an S on his carved in on his chest who's like searching for
Mm.
Superman." And I was like, "Is this supposed to be that guy? Like, is it
Very well could be.
and just do his entire story just in like 1-2 episode?
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Uh, How do you feel about Superman in this? Because basically, he doesn't have a lot of lines. He's just there to punch shit.
He is, but what he does get to do works very well as like a solid Superman in this kind of situation.
Yeah. There's
Like
no.
I like that this is very much about him inspiring hope on another planet. Like that is very much I wouldn't be surprised if one day we find out Philip Kennedy Johnson has seen this episode because this is a very similar story in concept to his Warworld saga. It's just lacking a lot of the depth that had. This is very simple. Superman gets taken to Warworld and he fights and inspires the people to fight back against Mongol kind of thing.
This is a very simple, hey, we want to do a Mongol episode. Oh, cool. Hey, remember that one alien from, like, whatever, and, like, he was chasing Superman? What if we put him in there and they had, like, we could do all that? Can't wait for a Justice League cartoon where Rokul Sar is the jobber. That's what he deserves.
Legit. I can't wait for the comic that finally just goes, yeah, Rogolzar only thinks he's the dude who blew up Krypton. He's just some crazy asshole.
Here's the thing. I would say, let him be, like, not the person that, like, destroyed Krypton, but, like, lit the final fuse for the final bit of dynamite. Like, it was going to blow up in, like, a month. He just made it happen in, like, a week. You know, because then it's still Krypton, like, it's still the fault of Krypton and all their whatever bullfuckery, but then you're not just ignoring a story that people might like. I don't know. It's Bendis.
I haven't heard a single person say anything positive about that change in my entire life.
Well, considering that his two biggest changes to Superman, everybody hates apparently. Good. Okay, cool. Just remove it from continuity.
Yeah.
That know what? That's actually a problem with DC. They won't, because Marvel will just go like, "Oh, nobody likes this," other than one more day. They won't do that with One More Day for some fucking reason. Oh, nobody likes this. Cool. Let's just fucking retcon it. Let's get rid of it. Bye, bye, bye. DC keeps it all.
I think we just need to wait a few more years for somebody young enough and motivated enough and angry enough and talented enough to make it happen.
I can see the name on the byline. I think it's probably going to be like, I see 2 S's.
That is very nice of you to say, but I don't think so.
Adds new retcons to the retcons. I'm a fan of New 52, even if everyone hates it. Someone is going to be a fan of Bendis' run. Someone can be a fan of Bendis' run.
Another reason for me to hate Aki. Nice.
Oh, God. Hey, like, I can understand it being like a different interpretation of a character, you know? There's not a ton of things to talk about in this episode.
I mean, the only thing we really haven't gone in depth on, the only thing we really haven't gone in depth on is just like, yeah, all the shit with Hawkgirl and John is really cute. It's very stereotypical and standard. These two hate each other, but they'll fall in love later stuff. But it's been around forever because it works.
Yeah, I will say though, they do really good alien designs.
Oh yeah.
Like, all the background aliens feel unique and characterful. None of them are relying on classic tropes. I mean, there was a gray. You do see, like, some of those kind of things, but, like...
Yeah. But then there's, like, the cardiac-looking motherfucker who had all those tentacles at the beginning.
Or, like, the blue guy that tricked Green Lantern and Hawkgirl.
Yeah.
Like, he was cool looking.
Good times. Good times.
It's a solid episode. It's not horrible. It's just, it's there.
It's nothing to write home about, is what it is, really. And I think it's very indicative of the quality of this show that the episode that is legendarily the worst episode of the show, to the point where I had avoided seeing it until now, is just all right.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. I think any other cartoon would suffer from the fault of it. You know what I mean? Like, it could be the anchor around some shows. It doesn't feel like the anchor, you know? It feels like it's there.
Yeah.
It
It's
ain't.
the one people don't talk about except to say it's bad.
Yeah,
It's bad by comparison.
it's bad by comparison. And here's
Which,
the thing: there's still elements that are like enjoyable about it. Like the fight
mhm.
scene was pretty well done. I, you know, it's a roadside attraction of Gravity Falls.
Oh
It's a
wow.
tourist trap.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And this show overall is good, so having one episode that's just fine is fine.
Yeah.
Which is why it's not fine that they're taking this fucking show off of HBO Max next week. I just found out about that earlier today.
Hey, Vac.
Yeah.
Yo ho ho. I got a link.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I grabbed the whole thing as soon as we decided to do this.
Yeah. I just did season 1, so
But, making stuff legally easily available often means more people will watch it.
yeah. But overall, 7 out of 10. And a show that
Like,
normally bats nines.
I'd say it's more like a 6 for me, but
That's
again, that's still a positive score in my book.
Yeah. A 6 out of 10 and a show that normally Boingo wants to become Nick Fury. There
uh,
was once a plan.
yeah. Like, in my opinion, 6 or higher is positive, 5 is apathetic, 4 or lower is negative.
I would say 5 should be more of like, it's there.
Mhm.
Like I don't hate CSI. It's there. Do we want to talk about news?
I guess we could. Didn't you have something you wanted to talk about before
I
we
was
got
going to do it
into...
before we did the comics.
Oh, okay, that makes sense,
That
yeah.
was my plan.
All right,
Don't
sick.
worry, everybody. There's
We should
special
check in
segment.
on things like this beforehand in the future.
It didn't pick up enough that I was shaking. Like I was like doing that, like how when you flex like your body and you just like shake yourself.
Yeah.
I was doing that, but I wasn't picking up on camera.
It just looked like you stopped mid-sentence because I interrupted you. There we go. That one was good.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of shake, we got some shakeups. Nah, get to the shit show of news. Fuck you, Buster. You can't tell us what to do. Julia Louis-Dreyfus confirms next Marvel movie and teases a possible costume.
Yeah, it had long been suspected she would be in Thunderbolts, and yeah, she's going to be in Thunderbolts.
And she
We
might
know
have
that for sure now. She
she
said it.
Yeah, she might have a costume.
Also, apparently, she doesn't understand comic lore at all. Because in this evening show interview, I don't know which fucking one this is.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, if you read the quote, she goes on to say like, yeah, when they were casting me, they took me to the Marvel offices and had like this big long meeting where they explained the character to me, and I just kept smiling and nodding because to me that kind of stuff just sounds like you're giving me my tax report.
That's fair enough. She's being paid to act as long as the director can act her in the way that gets the character right. It's fine.
Yeah. I like her in the role, so and like she is a in a getting up there white lady, so she's of the demographic that I would expect to feel that way about comic book shit.
See, here's the thing. I would expect like Robert Downey Jr. to know at least Iron Man conceptually. You okay, bud? Vac's coughing right now. Like I would expect Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, like Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace, to like know the comics, know the character, know the lore conceptually. Like he doesn't have to read all the books, but he goes like, yeah, no, I get it. Her character, she doesn't know need to know jack and shit.
I'd never even heard of her character before she showed up in the MCU, so
yeah, like it's completely fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the end of the world. We also get Marvel Thunderbolts adds the Bear star in mystery role.
Yes, I thought the name was in the title here. Let me open this so I can grab it real quick. Io Edebiri, I'm gonna say is how you pronounce that.
I'd say that Edibiri.
Yeah, she has been cast in Thunderbolts, and we don't really know much about it other than just like IMDb confirmed it. So that's news. That's an announcement. That's how this goes. I looked at her IMDb, and she has been in some big stuff besides The Bear, but
She was in
nothing
Big
I've
Mouth.
seen.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah,
I
but those are
have,
both things I've not checked out.
yeah. She watched the Bear Best Television Show last year. I have no idea. I have never heard of it. I don't keep up with like fucking shit.
I think I heard one of the RLM guys talk about it in a recent video, but I could be wrong.
That's totally fair. What else? What other news do we got? What else do we got here? Marvel reportedly cast actor cut from Spider-Man: Homecoming as lead in upcoming Disney Plus show.
Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. Um, where is the name? Why don't they put the names in the fucking title?
Jonah Xiao.
Jonah Xiao, yeah, she was cast in Homecoming, and apparently she was supposed to play a significant Spider-Man character in a small role in Homecoming, but they ended up just cutting her entirely out of the film, and they never said who the character was. Um, and now she's been cast as the IMDb describes it as the lead female, not specifically the lead. So she might be like co-starring with another male actor. Um, but in a Disney Plus show that is yet to be announced, but is supposedly MCU related. It's not a Star Wars thing. So very interesting to see if she's going to be playing the same character she was in Homecoming, and if we're going to finally find out who that character was, because they never released those deleted scenes, or if she's going to be doing something entirely different and just like, what is this show? I want to know about this show. Tell me about this show, Marvel.
Yeah. Freshman year is still happening, but fuck Disney for firing all the animators. Yeah, no, it's I
I don't know
can't
what
do
else you want us to
about
say
it.
about that, Buster.
Yeah, it's like
It's a shitty situation.
yep. Shazam, we got new trailer. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's a trailer.
I actually really didn't like this trailer. This trailer shows way too much of the third act, in my opinion. It's trying way too hard to make this look like a big epic movie, and like, granted, elements of it are big and epic, but there's almost none of the comedy or the charm of the first trailer in this.
Yeah.
And that really put me off. Like, it made me worried about this movie. Like, oh, with the extra time to work on the effects and editing, did they cut a bunch of the comedy out too?
Who knows? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, that we're getting there, buddy.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Hold your horses.
But, yeah, it's a new trailer. Shazam.
Yeah.
We also got a final poster. Look at this. Look at this poster. Look at this poster.
Look at this Photoshop ass, generic Hollywood grass, Warner Brothers pass poster.
I do like the tagline though.
Yeah, the tagline works for these movies. It's the kind of phrase that would normally tick me off, but it works for these movies.
Yeah, it's fun, it's goofy, it's lighthearted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gods.
Z.
I'd say an S.
No, you said singular.
No, I said dub. I said, oh
Chat,
my
chat, what
god.
did he say? What did he say, chat? Did he say singular or plural?
I did a plural. I pluralized God. So, but here's the thing: MCU posters are getting better, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Quantum Mania poster, fantastic.
Yeah.
A lightning bolt cracks me up. Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks like she's about to call the police on you for walking in a neighborhood. She has
shit, dude.
She has that look of like, they'll believe me because I'm a white woman.
Oh man. Oh, well, on that note, should we rip the Band-Aid off?
Shazam star appeared to tweet anti-vax content God damn it, sir.
Yeah, so I think this was like earlier today or just yesterday. I only heard about it like an hour ago. But from a account that has regularly tweeted like hardcore anti-vax misinformation and propaganda and hate-fueled shit, um, they just tweeted like, Pfizer is a big fucking problem. Do you agree? And he said he hardcore agrees. And yeah.
Here's the thing. If you read it and like there's a way to read it where like you continue, it's like, yeah, this is a company that's done some very fucked up shit.
Yeah, Pfizer has done a lot of political lobbying, and they did just announce they were going to be raising the price of their COVID vaccine. But also, come on.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I think if we I'm not being angry at him until I see a fucking clarification.
hmm
Cause like
Well, there is some more to go into, which is just that, like, a clip of him on the Joe Rogan Experience from a couple years back started circulating after this, where
okay, yeah, no, I'm seeing
he
that.
he talks about there's a little bit of that, and there's also he compliments Jordan Peterson and doesn't speak up when Joe Rogan dead names and misgenders Elliot Page.
Yeah. It, I don't okay, here's the thing. Me and you have come across these kind of people.
Yeah.
Of these dude bros that aren't assholes. They aren't the quote unquote big asshole dipshit, right? But they don't care enough to learn, so at most they're just kind of annoying.
hmm
That's kind
And
of
I'll
where I'm
admit,
feeling he's
like,
at.
I like Zachary Levi as Shazam. I've not seen him in anything else, but I have listened to other interviews with him besides that Joe Rogan clip. Like, I've listened to his episode of Inside of You, and I've listened to, like, a couple general interviews he's done, and some other podcasts here and there. But he has always come off to me as kind of a Chris Pratt type, as I put it to you earlier, Boingo, where like he is a religious guy, he has conservative viewpoints, but he tries as best as he can to keep it to himself because he doesn't want to tank his career.
Yeah, like I don't know. Karen normally, Warner Brothers needs all the good press they can. It's just it's morbidly comedic, and it's also
hmm
just hilarious that right if you take it at both ends, they're taking it from both ends. You have Ezra Miller being a fucking chaos crime goblin,
hmm
and you have Zachary Levi trying to be Tim Allen number 2,
Yeah.
and it's just
Eh.
like,
What the fuck? And there's also the fact that, like, a few months back in an interview when James Gunn got announced to be in charge of the DC shit, Zachary Levi said he was going to make a personal appeal to James Gunn because they're friends IRL to keep the Shazam stuff. And
yeah,
like I don't see that happening even before this, but after this, whoa.
yeah, and that's another aspect of like I wouldn't say James Gunn is conservative. He's pretty kind of like weird. He's a weirdo progressive. He's the kind of guy who goes like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
what you want to be called? Okay, whatever.
yeah,
James Gunn strikes me as the kind of Hollywood guy who just likes cool people, whoever they are.
yeah, and that's the kind like, and like he likes to work with Chris Pratt, and it's like, okay, so how can he square that round hole? To me, it's that they are that seemingly okay dude who will say fucked up shit every once in a while, and you go like, dude, what the fuck? And you go like, oh, was that fucked up? Yeah, I was a little fucked up. Okay, and
Mhm.
you don't press it any further, so they may still believe that shit and just not say it around you.
Yeah.
You know, we've come across dude bros like that.
Hell, I was a dude bro like that back in my teens for a while.
And then you learn.
hmm because human beings can grow and change and be better people. And here's hoping either Zachary Levi does that or he shuts the fuck up about this shit until he's done playing Shazam, because I don't want to have this conversation again.
And again, this is not to excuse any of their actions. It's just more of like, you wonder why they're still working and why people still praise working with them. That's why they're able to shut up enough to be able to fucking get away with it.
I mean, if Nia Jax can still be working at WWE after being like the most unsafe worker in the industry alive today and spreading anti-vax shit, I think anybody can get away with it if they just apologize and be quiet.
Yep. I mean, hell, that's all Disney wanted fucking the woman from Mandalorian to do. They were just
and
like,
she wouldn't. She doubled down.
And there was like, fuck, all right, cool, you're just doing it, fine, bye. Hey, you want some more sad DC news?
Always.
Doom Patrol and Titans are canceled.
Oh, that's not sad.
Well, I mean,
that's half sad.
Doom Patrol.
Yeah. I'll admit, I've only seen the first season of Doom Patrol, but I was planning to catch up just recently, and I guess now I'm planning to finish it.
Well, I mean, at least it's got like 5 seasons. It
yeah,
got
like,
some legs.
Both these shows had 5 seasons. That's a good, decent, solid run. And these decisions, James Gunn came out and said, these decisions predate him and Peter Safran. They just only now announced it.
Yeah.
But it is unfortunate that these shows may not get a proper end. We don't know. The final episodes of their 5th seasons haven't come out yet.
They were given early warning. They were able to write an ending.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Aki, for that clarification. I hadn't heard.
I've been wanting to get back to Doom Patrol because I watched a few episodes and I love that kind of weirdo, quirky bullshit. And of course, Brendan Fraser, excellent man.
We love that boy.
We love that.
But the whole cast in that whole first season was great, in my opinion. Probably the best take on Cyborg I've seen in ages.
I have seen the clip with the fucking orgasm. That's fucking hilarious. And you just see Danny the street sign just go like, oh, it's
But Titans, I've never heard anybody say anything positive about that show except for one guy who people who are watching the show may or may not know, but he's a Power Rangers guy, and he watches a lot of genre fiction outside of Power Rangers, and he just tends to be generally positive about everything, so I don't really take any stock in his opinion.
From what I've seen, it seems like the first season was like very rough, and it kind of like not necessarily made it what everybody wanted in later seasons, but it did figure out where it wanted to go.
Probably.
At worst, it's probably equivalent to a CW show.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing I'll say.
He said good things about Ghost. That does not clarify.
Yeah, it's not the best thing ever. It's a show, you know. If you like it, you like it. I will say though, the cast is
fair enough. That's a fair opinion.
The cast looks pretty good. I like. I don't know why anybody complained about the Starfire casting. It's like she looks good at Starfire.
Yeah, it just took a minute to get used to, and also there's a lot of racists out there.
Yeah, but overall, hey, you guys had some runs. You're able to, Buster. What I was doing was basically downplaying the concept of racism as being ridiculous inherently. As inherently ridiculous of like it makes no sense. That's the joke. Yeah. Like I'm looking at Nightwing on that picture. That's a good looking Nightwing.
That's a good looking Connor Kent too.
I would also say Garfield looks pretty good.
Yeah. I think that's just a general thing about the show I don't vibe with too well is both with Garfield and Starfire or Corey, that's her civilian name. I just prefer those characters to have their weird comic book skin colors. but I understand you don't have the money for those effects. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine. But yeah.
Ice cream and Wendy's chili fries, and you're not going to share with the class nightmare? What the hell?
So long, Space Cowboy. James Gunn teases how much of the MCU studio slate will be revealed this month. 8 to 10 year slate, just a few projects from the first chapter.
Mm-hmm. Which is pretty ambitious. I'm surprised we're getting that much this early.
I mean, he's not announcing 8 to 10 year slate. Just a few projects. What I'm imagining is he's announcing the equivalent of their Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor movie.
Yeah. We got part 1, part 2, part 3 coming soon.
That's what I'm imagining.
Only a couple of days left. I would not be surprised if we see this tomorrow or Tuesday, especially because just earlier today, a freaking congressman tweeted at James Gunn and said, "If you don't announce shit by February 1st, I'm bringing you in and questioning you." I think it's the same guy who swore in on a copy of Superman #1, which I meant to put in the news, but I forgot.
I think that's I need to look into his policies before I say whether he's based or not. But like, that's a cool thing to do.
Yeah, it's cool that he did that,
especially because he is the son of immigrants. You know, it's like, oh, cool, like connection, all that kind of stuff. James Gunn seemingly confirms first returning character.
So he tweeted just like a photo saying, "Hey, I'm working on some stuff," with a photo of his laptop, and people noticed one of the project files said Viola Davis as Amanda Waller.
Yeah. Play it safe and for how much they're yeah. It's hold on, I'm getting the photo. Yeah, Viola Davis, Amanda Waller. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. I like her Amanda Waller.
Yeah. She plays a good character.
Mm-hmm.
It is solid.
And it makes sense that he'd want to keep her considering she's in his Suicide Squad and Peacemaker things.
Yeah. Overall, some bad news. Not the worst kind of stuff around, but some good news as well.
That's the movie news.
That's the movie news.
I put it in 3 chunks this week for Boingo people. There's movie, there's comic, and there's merchandise. So
yeah, because
now it's comic time.
Because there's only so much we can open at one time. So, from the company that gave you the last dumb versus crossover comes a new dumb versus crossover. Captain America versus Captain America.
Yeah, this arc is technically going to be called Cold War, but like we know what's happening here.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I'm not super into the idea on concept. I also don't feel like the books have been building towards that very well so far, but it could surprise me when we get there. I'm going to give it a chance.
Yeah, we'll give it a chance. We've been enjoying the Captain America books. I've been enjoying both of them. I don't want to speak for you.
I've been enjoying them issue to issue. Occasional, there's been like a few issues here and there that have been like, it's not super interesting to me.
Yeah, it's a book that I think will read better in the trade. But sure, whatever, do it.
Make that clickbait money, Marvel.
I'm just glad Marvel's not doing big company-wide crossovers as much, and they're letting smaller ones have some limelight. Oh God. Don't bring up that Black Panther run. It's weird. It's weird. It did weird things. I will say though, this cover looks good, and this cover looks good. That looks solid. Good covers.
These books have had good covers, generally speaking.
Classic Fantastic Four villain is ready to attack the Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, they're just going like, hey, they're
doing like a one-shot thing to bring in some classic creators to do a fun one-off Guardian story.
Yeah. Why is Madam Hydra pegging a dude? Because that's not Madam Hydra, and they weren't pegging.
Yeah, that's Black Widow and Bucky, right?
I think it might have been Black Widow.
Mm. It's either that or it was that other girl from the council that was into him.
Yeah, Guardians. They're trying to, like, I wouldn't say they're trying to reboot or bring back the Guardians. It's just more of like, hey, we let the Guardians rest
Guardians
for,
Free is coming out. We need to push it a little bit.
but we also like we let it rest for a little bit. We're gonna try and like, here's Guardians again. Have you missed Guardians? Yeah, I miss the Guardians. Let me read some Guardians of the Galaxy. That kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's nice. The cover looks good and classic.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that Star-Lord look, but other than that, I
I
like it.
like bisexual Star-Lord because that's the bisexual Star-Lord vibes.
I don't mind him being bisexual. I just don't like the jacket, no shirt look.
Well, I mean that's kind of like that all happened at once, so I call that look bisexual Star-Lord.
Eh,
You know.
yeah. It's just there's only one person I've ever seen pull that look off, and that was because he was perfect.
Marvel reveals Carnage's former host Cletus Cassie is getting an extreme symbiote. All
Yeah,
right.
so for those of you who don't know, because we haven't been covering it at all, the fucking Carnage book has gone places post Absolute Carnage. Like, Cletus left, and the symbiote went off on its own and has been doing shit. And now Cletus is going to come back as a villain for the Carnage symbiote itself in this book with a new symbiote called Carstream. As in a pun on Carnage and Extreme.
Oh, it's taking the piss.
Yeah, it's more of Marvel going, remember the 90s?
Yeah. I haven't been reading it, so I don't know.
Yeah. Eh.
I haven't been reading Carnage. That design looks okay. It looks fine.
It's decent.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just figured people could use an update.
Yeah, it's Carnage. They're doing stuff. Carnage and what he doing?
This is why he hasn't been in Venom.
DC promotional art spoils the Justice League's big return.
Yeah, so we got this is basically the best place to talk about all of this. We got the next advancement of the Dawn of DC slate. A bunch of new books got announced. Tom Taylor is very predictably going to be taking over Titans now that Titans Tower is in Bloodhaven. There's going to be a Cyborg miniseries. There's going to be a John Stewart or a Hal Jordan book with a John Stewart backup that's going to build to the John Stewart book, which is still coming. That's what the next news story is. So fucking there, we don't even need it. But if I can open this and just
can.
double check.
Hold on,
Sorry,
I need to do a thing, so they're gonna look at your face.
oh no.
Tom Taylor on Titans was the worst thing to happen to Titans since New 52.
Fuck you, Aki. I'm really excited for that.
Tom Taylor seems like a very like love it or hate it kind of writer.
And I love it. I'm excited. But yeah, people noticed, and I don't think this was them spoiling it. I think this was a like, hey, if you're smart, you'll figure this out kind of thing. Because when you brighten up the image for this slate, you can see later in the slate, first of all, there's a Wonder Woman book coming. There's a Hawk's book. I don't know if it's Hawk Girl or Hawk Man or both of them. There's also something called Night Terrors coming.
Or could it be Hawk from Hawk and Dove?
It could be, but that's the Hawk Man, Hawk Girl symbol.
I'm making a dumb joke.
But it looks like at the end of this year is when we will be getting a new Justice League book, because the Justice League have been on a bit of a break since Dark Crisis started, and it's very much a thing in canon of like the Justice League are taking a step back to reevaluate what they should be going forward right now, and other heroes are having to step up. So it seems like that's just like a year-long arc for the universe in general that is going to conclude probably like November, December with the launch of a new Justice League book.
How do you want this new Justice League to kind of be? Do you want it to be unlimited, or do you want it to be a Morrison?
I would be into either or because really I just want Justice League as a book to be interesting again. I haven't been interested in reading a Justice League mainline comic. God, probably since New 52 when I just read the first couple issues because it felt like everyone was.
Hmm. Fair enough. But hey, DC announced some books.
Hmm.
They're doing the stuff.
Yeah, it's happening.
Hey,
Donna DC, baby, get in on it.
the writer confirmed John Stewart. We already said
Yeah.
that, so there it is.
Because people were panicking and going, why did the Hal Jordan book get announced? Where's the John Stewart book they said was coming? Calm down. It's all part of the plan.
It's all part of the plan.
Hmm.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Not really.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's such like a 2009 meme.
Buddy, pal, buddy guy, buddy friend. We were alive in 2009.
We were. It was a dark time.
It's been on the shitter since John's left Justice League.
Interesting. I don't even remember particularly liking his Justice League.
I don't know. It's just everyone says like it's Morrison. Morrison's Justice League is like fantastic.
Yeah, but that was literally 30 years ago now. We need to get those numbers back up, people.
Like here's the thing. You hear like a bunch of different people go like, "Oh yeah, this person's run on Batman. This person's run on Batman. This person's run on Superman." You talk about Justice League, the only run people continuously say this is a good run completely is Morrison.
It's that, or they tell you to go read Justice League International, which isn't even the Justice League.
Here's the thing. You say that's a Justice League book. I feel like it's a spin-off book.
It's kind of both.
I feel like Justice League International is not the same, but kind of the vibe of like Avengers West Coast.
Hmm.
And that's the only Justice League they had for a bit. Like that was the gag. Kinda, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on shit. Don't fucking think I know things.
You don't know shit. You don't know fuck. You don't know shit about fuck.
I don't know shit and fuck. Hey, guess what? Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Air Jordans. We're getting.
This is a thing that's happening.
We're
people.
getting shoes. Hold on, I'm getting the picture of the shoes.
I don't know. I don't care about shoes particularly, but I figured people would be
into them.
Fuck you, Boingo. Fuck you, Buster. That's hilarious. I figured people would be because like it's kind of thematic with the fact that this is like a Miles Morales driven franchise, and Miles seems like the kind of guy who would be into sneaker culture.
Well, I mean, he wore Jordan 1s in the first movie.
Yeah. So like it makes sense.
Yeah. They look solid enough.
They look like shoes. I can't wait for the Young Bucks to ruin them in a wrestling match.
They look like good sneakers.
Mm-hmm. I've never actually worn a pair of Jordans. Are they any good?
I don't know. He doesn't have fire powers, Buster. How can he roast him?
You can't see it, but I'm shutting my eyes in annoyance for a moment.
Hey, guess what?
What?
We have more Iron Man toys.
Yeah, Hot Toys, Avengers, Iron Man, Mark 6, I think this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
With the armor up gantry. It's happening, boys. They're revisiting all the Iron Man armors. We're gonna have all the Hot Toys Iron Man free Hall of Armor boys again. I guarantee you that's coming.
It's an Iron Man toy.
It does look very good, though. Like, if anybody has gotten Robert Downey Jr.'s likeness down perfectly, it's Hot Toys. Damn.
Yeah, it's the Hot Toys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It looks accurate. It's just at this point, we have seen so many good-looking Iron Man toys. It's just like, yep, water's wet.
We're only really wowed when you do a comic look we haven't seen in a while.
That's it. It's a good looking thing. It's just
Mhm.
we've seen it. We've seen stuff like this so many times.
Like, we have been spoiled. Everybody's been spoiled. The MCU has spoiled the world on Iron Man, honestly. But, yo, Marvel Legends team, where's my comic book Hulkbuster new version at? I'd
Yeah.
like to see that. That would wow me.
Hey, we got SH Figuarts Amazing Spider-Man. Unmasked head sculpt will no longer be included.
Yeah, so we're not exactly sure why this happened, but the solicitations for this figure were taken down like in the middle of the night a couple days ago, and then Bandai put up a statement saying, due to issues with the entertainment, we can no longer present the entertainment in the same way we intended to. And then they put the solicitation back up with the unmasked head removed, and it was like $10 less.
Negotiations may have fell out through the likeness.
It might have, but I'm also wondering if like maybe there was a moratorium on how long you could use their likenesses from those movies.
Yeah, that's true. It looks great.
It's not gonna come anymore.
It's just the problems of like
It will
this
not
kind of
come.
stuff. Yeah, but you know what will come?
What will come?
Captain America Winter Soldier toys from Mafex.
Yeah. Holy God, this was weird to see because it doesn't feel like it sometimes, but when stuff like this happens, I'm reminded Winter Soldier was 9 goddamn years ago. And here's new toys for it that look pretty good. Mafex is pretty good. They're like the other SH Figuarts at this point.
Yeah, pretty good. Here's the thing I appreciate: they're not going for photorealism.
Yeah, like it looks like the guy, but it doesn't look exactly like the guy, which I massively prefer to SH Figuarts attempting to get photoreal for so long, and then now all of a sudden just switching to cartoon.
Why are we getting new toys now? Because they have the license and they want to.
Yeah, and Mafex is just good at making toys, and they make good money off of their MCU releases. I will say though, it's kind of weird that this Winter Soldier isn't coming with a gun at all. Because I picture him like walking down the highway with the big rifle in that one scene, and he just gets a bunch of knives here.
Well,
Granted, there was a cool knife moment in the movie in that same scene, but like I gotta wonder, is Mafex just shy of giving their figures guns now that Warner Brothers was so mean to them?
yeah, it's who knows? Who knows? Ultimately, they look really good. It's just nice to see MCU figures that aren't Iron Man.
Yeah.
Marvel Legends Yondu, classic Yondu, love
Now,
it.
speaking of crazy out there, don't see it often impressive stuff, this was announced earlier this week, I think Monday actually. This is going to be another Walmart exclusive Guardians first appearance figure. We got Star-Lord announced back at PulseCon, and now we're getting Yondu, and oh man, this looks nice. I've seen some people kind of complain about the body they chose to use, but I think it's a fine choice for Yondu. I like the way it looks, and like if you want a comic Yondu, you can't do worse than this, honestly.
Comic classic Yondu. We do have a contemporary Yondu that's like the MCU.
Mm-hmm. But like,
because for people that are unaware, Guardians of the Galaxy originally started as a super team in the year 3000.
yeah, but like a lot of comic collectors tend to just want the classic iconic look for the character, and this is that, and it really feels like Hasbro is just going like, all right, Guardians 3 coming out, this is the time. If we're gonna do any weird, goofy Guardian shit, we gotta get it out of our system now.
Yeah.
And I kind of dig that.
Yeah. He's also, I think, he is canonically distantly related to the other Yondu. They are related.
Yeah.
They are family. Marvel Legends Squadron Supreme 2-pack reveal. We got not Sentry, Hyperion and Dr. Spectrum.
Yeah, this was announced just a couple days ago, and I gotta admit, I don't care about the Squadron Supreme at all. But this Hyperion does look leagues better than the one Hasbro put out way back at the beginning of this run of Marvel Legends, which I think was like way back in the Hitmonkey wave. Excuse me. Dr. Spectrum, though, it's just always going to be weird trying to put that design into plastic form with how multicolored it is, but I think they did a fine enough job here, and I like the multicolored effects pieces they gave it.
Yeah. Buster, this is basically rip off Green Lantern.
Yeah. Because the whole point of Squadron Supreme is just to do the DC characters in the Marvel universe so you can do stories where they cross over, right?
Kinda. I mean, it's more than that, but it's also like Hyperion is often evil Superman. There are good Hyperions, but there are several Hyperions in the multiverse that are just evil Superman.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah,
Hyperion
these
is
figures. Go
Hyperion
ahead.
is cool character, Aki, but so is the Sentry. They're both cool characters. They can both exist. Go.
These figures look good. I'm not particularly interested in, but I'm glad they're happening because they seem to have made the majority of Legends collectors I interact with happy.
Yeah, I like the look of Doctor Spectrum. He looks neat.
Yeah. Now for some not so happy news again.
Hasbro is cutting 1,000 jobs, 15% of its staff.
Yeah. So this is something I've kind of talked about here and there on various shows here and on my Twitter, which is just like people don't really realize Hasbro had kind of a big boom and bust period over the pandemic because business was very good for them during the pandemic, but now that we're coming out of it, they're getting hit just as hard as everyone else with the economic downturn. That's why we've had the rising prices. That's why we've had all kinds of like weird shipping issues, and that's why this is happening. They're selling E1. They're getting rid of a bunch of I'm not gonna put it as non-essential people, but like people they don't need to keep the ship running day to day. Like extra extraneous projects is what this is described to be. But it's also a lot of human people who are probably very hardworking, probably very passionate about what they do, and it sucks that this is happening. I'm not going to pretend this is a good thing. This is
It's not.
definitely a bad thing that's happening, but I understand why it's happening, and I'm not just going to scream, Hasbro, what's wrong with you? Why don't you like being a good company on Twitter? Because I understand why these decisions happen.
Yeah, but Buster is right. Between this, Magic's just economic weirdness that's been going on for like years now, and
Hmm.
all of the D&D controversy, this is not a great time for Hasbro.
It has been a rough month for Hasbro. They're really gonna have to like put the pedal to the metal in the next month, which it seems like they're going to. We're going to have free fan streams back to back every week starting this Tuesday with Transformers in order to kind of make up for that in fandom hearts. I'm not saying like economically or what's the word
Financially,
morally,
yeah.
but like if they want to win people back, they're gonna have to announce a lot of really cool stuff at the I believe it's Transformers this week. Then we have Star Wars next week and G.I. Joe the week after that.
And Aki is also right. It's a bullshit excuse. People are using the pandemic as an excuse to increase profits. They're trying to maintain a profit margin that was inherently overinflated due to just a variety of circumstances. It is not
Yeah, I can
sustainable.
I can agree and disagree with that because like I don't think you should be putting people over profit ever, but also I don't think they're trying to increase profit. I think they're just trying to maintain it.
That's the problem. It's like they had an increased profit margin due to extraneous circumstances, and now that those circumstances don't exist anymore, that increase in profit doesn't exist anymore. And trying to maintain that is inherently a fool's errand.
And Buster, I get where you're coming from. You know I feel you. We've talked about this on Twit, but like I already think they're starting to. I already think they had a really good start to the year with Power Rangers with that fan stream. So that's why I didn't bring it up.
Yeah. It says a lot about consumerism when they make up horrific shit. Yeah. That's the thing. It's just a variety of problems. There's also like
It's
there
the way
it
it works. I
there's
don't
the
like
issue
the system. I just understand it.
there's also the issue of like it is a lot of stockholder pressure on Hasbro
Hmm.
that's doing a lot of these ill things that people aren't enjoying. It's like The stockholders want more profit. That's what they
Yeah,
want.
and that's a thing all collectors, including myself, tend to forget is that Hasbro is a public company and they're beholden to the shareholders as much as they are anyone else, if not more.
I mean, that's why D&D was doing those things, because D&D is one of the more profitable branches of Hasbro. And if they can make that, no, it's like one of the more, it's a weird nebulous profitability. It's like
Mhm.
it's the most consistent profits, but it's not the highest profits, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But since it is relevant to this show in that Hasbro makes Marvel Legends, I should say we haven't had confirmation that anybody who works directly on Marvel Legends has been let go yet. As far as we know, Dan, Dwight, and Ryan, and all the other people working on that brand are fine. But also, it could just be people we've never seen before and wouldn't know about getting
I can
fired.
definitely see it just being background people helping out. Like,
Hmm.
it's the person who gets like, who is the assistant to the sculptor.
Yeah, like at this point, I don't think anybody who regularly appears on those fan streams is going to get fired unless they say some really bad shit on Twitter or something. I think those are people Hasbro is always going to have out front and center as personalities until they're ready to retire or move on to something else. Because now
And
that
it,
you've made them into personalities that promote your brand, if you fire them for no reason, fans are going to get mad at you.
and this is also not to excuse any of their firings either. We're just like,
Hmm.
sometimes you need to pinch your nose and drink the shitty water.
Yeah, as I had.
You know,
You,
for people
that's
who are
what
unaware, if you
I do.
run it, like, sulfur water is completely fine to drink, but it just smells like rotten eggs. So if you pinch your nose, you're able to drink it easier. That's the metaphor I was making. I made Vac sick. I made the Vac man sick. I have control and power over him. He has disappeared. He is coughing up fit and storm. He no longer has a lung.
All right, my flu's almost gone, but not entirely. I can still have coughing fits that get too disgusting for the camera.
Yeah. That's totally fair. I just wanted to make a joke at your
No, no, no.
expense.
I just wanted to assure everyone I was fine. You're
Yeah.
good. You can clown on me all night, buddy.
Hey, guess what?
Hey,
We're gonna clown on some DC toys now.
oh, sick. My favorite.
We got some new page punchers. We got a new wave, and they're watery.
Yeah, the Aquaman wave that's been being teased for like the last month. We got the full official solicitations, and I don't hate these. They look fine. I'm not a big fan of the way the scale shirt on Aquaman looks. It looks kind of like melted wax to me, but it's a decent design. The proportions look solid. The articulation looks solid, but
That pauldron
I
looks a little
wouldn't pick
big.
it up.
That pauldron looks a little big. That's
Little
about it.
big, little big, yeah. But yeah, he's all right. He'll do in a pinch if you don't have an Aquaman yet.
We also got Black Manta. That's a good Black Manta.
That's a good Black Manta, but like in to be fair, I don't know much about Black Manta except like the basics of his character and a couple stories. So like to me, any Black Manta is a good Black Manta as long as it has like that helmet design. You could do the whatever you want with the rest of the body.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks badass, and that's kind of what you want for Black Manta.
Hmm.
We also got Ocean
Ocean Master.
Master.
And this is a pretty good Ocean Master. This doesn't deviate too much from the classic, or at least the recent classic-y design. The design I know. This doesn't deviate too much from the Ocean Master I know. I could see this being like the standard evergreen Ocean Master on your shelf if you wanted it to be. And yeah, it works.
Yeah, Ocean Master looks cool. Aki saying Black Manta is a great character. That's good.
Hmm.
Aki, do you think the figure looks good? That's a big concern of us, as you are a Black Manta fan.
Yeah,
Uh,
let us know.
Let us know. Ocean Master
Write a
looks pretty
comment on
cool.
our web zone.
And we got Aqualad.
Yeah, it is. I really dig this Aqualad, actually. I think this is a really good looking figure of Jackson. The hair is maybe a tad sloppy, and he does not look like that card art at all, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, like, it still looks like him. This is what I would expect a Jackson figure to look like, except maybe some lighter colors, maybe like more of a bluish black instead of a straight black for the pants.
Mm-hmm.
But I dig it. It works.
Yeah, looks good. Looks solid. So overall, out of the Aquaman line, every figure looks pretty good, except Aquaman.
Yeah, but that's fine because they've already done a couple Aquamans that I would buy. I like the Endless Winter Aquaman.
Aki says they would happily buy the Black Manta. Good. All right, cool.
Awesome.
Black Manta gets a thumbs up.
Todd might actually be getting good.
He's getting better.
He's been getting better, to be fair. I've said Todd's starting to get good for like 6 months now.
Yeah. Speaking of Todd getting good, this is actually not that bad looking of a figure. We got Multiverse Boy Wonder Dick Grayson.
Yeah, we got classic Robin, and this looks to be very heavy reuse of the Carrie Kelly Robin they put out last year. But obviously new head, and it looks like they resculpted the crotch piece, excuse me, to have the scale mail trunks. Which works fine. Like it works fine as Dick Grayson, just as it did with Carrie Kelly. I don't love the way the elbow and the wrist joints look. They're a bit obvious for me.
Yeah.
But the head sculpt's pretty good, and it's a generally okay body from what I've heard. So like if you're collecting Multiverse, which I should mention because I haven't said it in a while, I'm not collecting Multiverse. I'm still waiting to see who does a classic Supergirl first. It's either going to be Multiverse, it's going to be One Collective, or it's going to be Mafex. Whoever does that, that is the current DC line I will finally start buying. But if you're collecting Multiverse, I think this is probably the classic Robin you've been waiting for. Unless you're a Jason Todd or a Tim Drake fan.
I mean, it looks like a good Robin.
Mm-hmm.
And we also get the Rocketeer 2-pack from Executive Replicas. Look at these.
Yeah, this was a really nice surprise. Now, we've talked about Executive Replicas a while. They a couple times. They've done that. They did that line that was like Purgatory and Red Sonja, all those gal figures.
Uh-huh.
And now they're doing this Rocketeer, which is based off of the comics, not the movie. Most people know Rocketeer from the movie, but there are plenty of Rocketeer comics as well. And this looks fairly accurate to the comic. The Betty is definitely a bit much if you only know the movie, which I did, and I only just recently saw the movie for the first time. Really liked it. But as action figures of those designs, these look phenomenal. Like, these look like the best comic book Rocketeer figures ever. And, well, they do have a very steep asking price. It's $150 for this 2-pack, and you can't buy them separately. I think it's worth it. I think this looks like a solid deal of a 2-pack.
Solid classic Rocketeer.
From a non-big company. If like Hasbro solicited this and asked $150, I'd be like, what the fuck? That's 60 at the most. But considering this is basically a third party that's able to get licenses, the 150 is an understandable asking price.
Aki asks, Vac, your quick thoughts on Linda Danvers Supergirl. Is that Matrix?
Which version?
Is that
are we talking about Matrix? Are we talking about Silver Age? Are we talking about Kara Danvers from the CW show, which is just Linda Danvers, but they didn't want to use the Linda name or a brunette wig for some reason? Clarify.
Okay. I didn't know there was... Why do you like such a complicated character?
Matrix Supergirl. Okay. How do I put this nicely? I'm not a fan. Matrix Supergirl is the Peter David run.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay, whatever. Hey! We got through all the news, but before we talk about comics proper, I think it's about time we talk about some comics.
Yeah, because you went to a comic store.
And you know what my favorite thing to do at a comic book store is?
Rifle through the dollar bin?
Rifle through the dollar bin. So I got some
Nice.
dollar bin books. First things first, I got a classic Bishop #1.
That foil effect is ridiculous.
It's so good.
Oh my god, does it say collector's item on it?
Oh, yes, it does. First issue, collector's item.
Let's fucking go.
At last, the time lost X-Men in his own series.
Oh, at last. I waited so long. This is what I've always wanted.
Oh yeah, I got a Blue Yard emotion amiibo right here. Look, it's
Yeah, that's been in his background forever.
Also, I just want to. There's something really cool about this book. It has the mail-in thing
Oh shit, that's cool.
still in here, right in the back. It's not the
I
greatest
wonder
condition.
if you could still send it in.
It's not the greatest condition. The spine has some marks on it, and the first page is ripped out.
Oof.
But considering I don't collect for monetary value, I collect for the fun of it. It ain't the end of the world.
Hmm.
Also, I just want to point out, here is an ad for Tim Allen's The Santa Claus.
Yeah, look at that. Oh,
I love old comics. They do so much dumb shit. It's great.
that's a great ad, unironically.
I got 5 books, by the way, just for understanding's sake. I got Thunderstrike #1.
Boingo Core.
If you don't know Thunderstrike, at one point in time, Thor Odinson wasn't Thor, so this construction worker became Thor. Thor came back, and he became Thunderstrike.
And nobody really cared except for weirdos like Boingo.
It's great.
Poor Thunderstrike.
He's
Solid
dead.
AC/DC song, though.
Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this. Look at that, man.
How does that shirt even work?
I don't know. Old comics are amazing and wonderful. They're just grand little nuggets. Yeah, Thunderstrike.
You've been Thunderstriked.
Oh man, look at this fucking.
Gosh.
That's what comics are, baby. That's what comics are, baby. So you never know what you're gonna find in the goddamn dollar bin. And what I found this week, when I went, though I don't go every week. I wish I could. Is I found a weirdo indie book from Canada.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's Mars. It was published in Canada. Oh no, maybe it wasn't published in Canada. It just has a Canadian price on it. First Comics. Where were you published? Hold on, I'm seeing First Comics, Mike Gold, David Street. Oh, they're from Illinois.
Oh.
Illinois comic right here. No idea what the fuck it is. I just thought, oh, that's a cool cover. It's a weird indie book I've never heard of.
Yeah, that is a weird... What kind of fucking capsule shit is that lady in?
I have no idea. I'll read it and tell you what I think. Yeah, bruh, your state made this. Now this one, I am also not sure if it's Canadian. I could not find any publication.
Oh, petition... I just realized I should have said this a long time ago. Petition to have the patron saint of Chicago changed from CM Punk to Buster.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out... Okay. So I found another indie book called Samurai.
Isn't that a Frank Miller book?
No, I see no Frank Miller anywhere in here.
No, I'm thinking of Ronin, sorry.
Yeah. Creator, Barry Blair. Art by
Well,
Barry
that sounds
Blair.
like a dude that should be writing a book called Samurai.
Yeah, like, I see no publication date, no like, information of where they are based in. I have no idea about this book.
I do like the design of who I assume is the main character on the cover, though. He looks like a
Mhm.
Showa Kamen Rider.
Ah, no, at the very back there is a letter from the editor and the creator. Uh, they are from Nightwind Productions from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. So
Mm.
this is a Canadian book. Good old Canada, yeah.
You
And
did get a Canada.
I did get a Canada. And hey, this is the widest name since Jim Cummings. Uh, and the last book I got uh, is Eternals #1 from 1991.
The fucking proportions on Icarus.
Oh,
Fucking kids.
that's not the worst thing. Here's the thing. You go like, oh, look at that cover. It's ridiculous. Oh, what's wrong with Icarus? Hold on. Hold on. I flipped through this and it is just look at Icarus. Look at that man.
Look at that man. He's
Look
a
at that
man.
man. So yeah, I got here's the art I was looking for. Look at the proportions of that man.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Eternals #1. I'm pretty sure this is 1991.
Yeah. Is that the one with the Roz War hat on the back that you showed me before the
Oh
show?
no, that's Wolverine.
Hey.
Wolverine for Nintendo NES.
Which one had the Roz War hat? I want to know.
I'm pretty sure that is Bishop. Yeah, because that's Thunderstrike.
Okay.
Bishop Raw's War.
Yeah.
It is for the Raw's War Acclaim game on Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Genesis, and Game Gear.
Is that one of the wrestling games people like?
I have no idea.
Same.
Also, there's an ad for acne cleaning wipes in the back.
You need this, you nerds.
You nerds. So yeah, go to the dollar bin. You will find fun, wonderful treasures in the dollar bin. You never know when you're gonna find a Bishop #1.
When you're gonna find a first issue collector's item.
First issue's collector's item. You never know. You never know.
You just don't.
Icarusi must hit different. Yeah.
God damn it, Aki.
I love the dollar bin. It is my favorite part of comic book collecting. Oh, you know what I did find in there though? But it did. If they had the full set, I would have gotten that instead of these 5 books. They had the 3rd Robin Tim Drake miniseries with the covers that had the pull-out like animation thing.
Yeah.
But they only had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
Boingo would have to own a lot more comics to be the Scott the Woz of comics.
One day, I can. That's a goal. My entire goal right now is to just meet a friendly old man who has a huge comic collection and be nice enough to get
in the will.
I love dollar bins. It's just great. If a comic book store doesn't have a dollar bin, I fundamentally do not trust that comic book store.
Yeah, like that place we went to at the summit.
Yeah. This place 10 times better. It's great.
I need to go to the new location my comic book store opened and check their dollar bins at some point.
Check the dollar bins.
I want to finish my current to read pile first.
Yeah. So hey, guess what? Has too many dollar bins. That is too overwhelming. Pick a dollar bin, just rifle through it, pick a book. That's all you need to do.
You pick a side, you start working your way through, and you just go until you run out of budget.
Yeah, you don't even have to have that $5. $5, go through the dollar bin. They're good.
It's not something you have to get through. It's an endless resource you check in on every once in a while.
And here's the thing. Do not be afraid of getting trash. I repeat, do not be afraid of getting trash.
I thought you were going to pull the Eternals issue.
Like, garbage is fun. I own the Mr. T #1 with the trading card.
Which is fun. Boingo Rider 2023.
I own Mr. T #1 with the collector's trading card.
Oh, you Linkara fan, you.
I had it long before I knew about Linkara. I got it the same time I got this Excalibur issue.
I was in the Mr. T trading cards before they were cool on the internet.
I can legitimately say that to Linkara. That's hilarious. Hey, guess what? We got comics to talk about other than these dumb things that I bought.
Yeah, we got new comics to talk about.
Hey, tell everybody your thoughts on Saga.
Yeah, new issue of Saga dropped this week after a 6-month hiatus. And this isn't bad.
Oh.
But, like, I've kind of run out of things to say about Saga. Because, like, after a while, when something is so good and it just maintains that quality, what can you say other than, yeah, it's Saga. It's really good. They come back from a hiatus.
You wait for another big twist.
They come back from a hiatus, and the hiatus took place in universe. It is 6 months later in the book, and a bunch of stuff is different, but all the changes feel totally natural. Like, you can buy that they got from where we last saw them to where they are now in universe. It feels natural for the story, and it's good. Like, the most exciting thing about this issue, I gotta admit, was just that, like, this is the first time we've seen Sophie in forever. She gets a little scene in this issue, and I feel like we haven't seen her probably since before the last hiatus, the big, like, multi-year pandemic hiatus. And she's probably my favorite character in the book, I gotta admit. So seeing her again made me really happy, but all the other stuff in this is really interesting. I like the big reveal at the end is potentially very exciting for where it could take some characters. But it's Saga. It's good. It's like a serving of French fries. It's fucking good, but you know how it tastes. I don't need to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
Read Saga if you haven't.
There's your answer, Buster.
Yeah.
You also read The Human Target, book 11.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this fucking thing.
Thing.
So this is my book of the week.
Oh.
We're peaking early.
Okay.
Because this is the kind of Tom King that just rips your heart out and fucking dances on it.
Oh, this is a very Tom King?
This is a very Tom King. There are multiple moments in this issue where, because obviously this issue is very much about Ice, because at the end of the last issue we find out that Ice is the one that tried to poison Lex Luthor but ended up poisoning the Human Target by mistake, and we find out why she never told him and why she's been acting the way she has this whole book, and basically she's just been trying to give him a nice last few days because she knows there's no cure for the poison, while also trying to cover her ass. But because this is a noir detective story and she's the femme fatale, she did fall in love with him. And so, like, this is a very emotional issue about both of them working through their feelings about the whole situation, and the fact that Christopher only has 2 more days to live. Christopher is the Human Target's real name. And there's just, like, multiple moments in this book where one or the other of them says something that hits so hard, I had to set my phone down and just take in the moment for a little bit. This is phenomenal comics writing. The art in this book is always fucking gorgeous. Really cool panel layouts this issue, especially. Just top notch. Peak fiction right here. We have one more issue left, and as I always like to say, last issue could always completely ruin the whole thing, but right now I'm saying Human Target is fucking great, and it might go down as one of Tom King's best.
Tom King truly seems at his best when he's doing a 12-issue miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
We both read The Sins of Sinister.
Yeah, bro! This fucking issue.
This fucking is so dumb and great.
This is... this is so wild and goofy and stupid, and I love it.
Um,
Because this is just, here's a whole timeline where Sinister takes over. This is what you thought the event was going to be, and now we're gonna pull the rug out from under you.
because essentially, yeah, Sinister's been up to his fuckboy shit from the very beginning. All the mutants have like an implant of Sinister in them.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like that's what the X gene is, and now they're infecting everybody, and it's like, oh, invasion of the Sinister Body Snatchers. It's like, oh,
It's just a bunch of goofy vignettes of Marvel characters still being themselves, but acting like Sinister, and all the insane shit that happens to the world in there. Like, I fucking love the scene where Hope is like, can I be the one to nuke Krakoa? Can I do it, please? Can I push the big red button? That was hilarious.
oh yeah, that's great. My favorite moment is when he walks into his old lab and his two pets are just skeletons. He goes like, "Computer, make a new one. Make new pets." It's just like, oh, that's the callous fucking asshole he is.
Yeah, this is just like, this is 22 pages of Sinister being a magnificent bastard.
And also just setting a lot of like simple groundwork for the rest of the story to take place.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Hey, something we can agree on, Aki. Tom King's Batman run is great.
but this book is also good. Gillen's
Yeah,
doing
this is
great.
good. I'm enjoying this event so far. I'm looking forward to the next issue.
Nice. We both read issue 5 of the Exterminators, which is the last issue of Exterminators.
God, I'm gonna
Right
miss this
now.
book. I'm gonna miss this book so fucking much if we never get more of it.
Well, here's the thing. It did say at the very end, the Exterminators will return.
Yeah.
It is great. Basically, the Dazzler has a new status quo. She's the owner of a bar. They get revenge on the vampire fuck.
We find out that Jubilee is secretly an Omega level mutant.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
Which was fucking awesome, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I love that Leo Williams went like, no, this character everybody makes fun of is just like the kid tag-along who has stupid powers. No, she could nuke a planet.
She can nuke a planet. And I don't think that was ever in question. It was always in question of like, how far can she... Because she's always... Her sparks have always been nuclear in nature.
Mm-hmm.
That's never been in question of like, how do you make these little sparks? Oh, I split atoms in the air. That's always been her power. It's just going like, how far can we push it?
And now it's hit a new ceiling.
Yeah. The only problem is she has to have someone to fucking save her ass.
Mm-hmm. Also, Magic gets a pet.
Magic gets a little pet.
Was that supposed to be a reference to anything, or was that just like, here's a new Scrimblow for her to play with?
I think it's just a new Scrimblow.
Okay, it was cute though. I liked it.
She called it a little beastie.
Mm-hmm.
I just love everyone. I love how this just feels like a woman writing female exploitation movies and just going like, I want to put them in the cute outfits I would pick out.
Mm-hmm.
You
like,
know?
let's have fun with this. Let's write this like girls having a girls' night out rather than bimbos being put in sexy situations.
Yeah. I mean, as a side action, it is sexy ladies in sexy situations.
But, like, that's a benefit rather than the main attraction.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see more of them. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that everyone fucking talks about, the fucking texting page.
The texting page is so good. That, like, after years of me, like, getting adjusted to the fucking info dump pages in current X-Men and, like, occasionally zoning out on them because they are so dry and boring at times, having one that's just straight comedy, I was like, oh god, can we have more of that, please? This was great.
It's great. Also, Laura not understanding anything is like, what's going on? Bye.
She shows up in her costume and she's like, what, we were doing cute outfits? Why didn't anyone tell me?
Exterminators is great. It's a great 5-issue mini. If you just want to see some fun X-girls do some fun things, good. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
We also both read Action Comics number 1051.
Yeah, 1051. the official start of the bold new era where the supers are all working together again, and there's multiple stories per issue. And it's still the same guys, though. It's still Philip Kennedy Johnson. It's still his book, but there's a new artist. And also, the backups are written by different people.
I don't mind the backups being written by different people. The backups were good in this.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed every story in this. The main story is still fully engaging. I'm digging Philip Kennedy Johnson's direction for Superman. I like a lot of little moments in this issue. The first backup, like, it's not great. It's not a particularly standout thing, but it's probably the best thing Dan Jurgens has written in years.
It's just nice to see Kid John again.
Yeah, that too. And the second backup, first time I've ever legitimately been engaged with a Power Girl story. I do really like what they're doing with her character right now, and I'm interested to see where it goes. And it was nice to see them actually kind of tie up a little plot thread from Dark Crisis that I didn't even realize was dangling.
Yeah. Great. It's also really interesting to see tackling mental health in that way. And we also finally have a canonical reason why Power Girl has a boob window.
Yeah.
She hates boob sweat.
That's fucking brilliant. Why hasn't anybody done that before?
It's a good enough reason. I mean, it's not that great a reason. It's still a boob window to see the cleavage, but like...
But it's like, it's smart, it makes sense, it lets you keep that classic bit of iconography, and it doesn't come off as like offensive or exploitive enough because it's written by a woman. That story is also written by Leah Williams, who wrote Exterminators.
But yeah, no, the costumes in this are great. I love the twins. They seem adorable. I also love John's, like, it seems like John's feeling.
Oh my fucking god, dude. The bit where Kara gives them their costumes, that was everything to me. That was so nice.
The bit where they were giving them the costumes and saying, like, welcome to the House of L.
Mm-hmm.
That's, like, so nice. But, like, I like that one panel where John's looking at them and is like, they're getting what I never got. And it's like,
setting up that bit of pathos for him. Like, I hope we do more with that.
I hope they become like the...
I hope in John's book we get an issue that actually deals with that.
I hope those three just become the most simpatico siblings ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
we have to talk about it because it's been like the biggest thing out of any comic release this week. Mm-hmm. Yes. The page where we find out that Clark and Lois are into kinky shit is very funny.
It's cute. Keenan's around. He's awesome. I love him and Connor.
He's still speaking in Chinese. He didn't learn English. The others had to learn Chinese.
Well, here's the thing. I think he knows... He said some in English, but he also knows some Chinese. Like, everyone's speaking both languages around him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he's hanging out. Connor's hanging out. They're playing a fighting game. It's great.
Yeah. And I like the concept of the Steels trying to build like a new outreach facility, basically trying to build Modular HQ, but for superheroes. And then Metallo shows up and fucks it all up, and like, we knew that was coming.
Yeah. Overall, I'm really excited because I just love all the interactions between all the little characters. It's great.
Yeah, it's really good. Philip Kennedy Johnson has just been nailing Superman for a long time now, and I'm glad a lot of people seem to be jumping on board for this new era, including you, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I jumped on the last issue because I thought it did set up this really well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, because I've read Kingdom Come and I love that book. This first panel where Superman shows up and he's carrying the criminals is a reference to Kingdom Come.
Oh.
I just thought I should mention it. It's a beautifully done reference, but it's a reference.
Yeah.
I read Thor: The Legacy of Thanos, Part 2.
Oh boy, what legacy Transformers figures does Thanos collect?
We don't know, and apparently there's some dark secrets.
Oh no.
They've kidnapped Thor's sister so he could do some weird magic shit. They're going through fucking alternate
Angela?
No, other sister. He has a little tiny baby sister.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's who that is.
It's going too much. Mark Waid is also doing that shit in World's Finest. I don't mind Mark Waid doing it because he's also setting up his own story. It's just a visual reference. It's a fun visual reference.
Oh yeah, good call there, Buster. Thanos would totally be a Tarn stan.
Okay. He's trying to open up this door that reveals the secret of like Thor's grandfather, and he has to use the blood of him and whatever, and it's like this whole big thing, and it's like this whole big secret. All the while, Odin is in his hammer, and it's going like, "I don't feel so good, Thor. We should get out of here." And Thor's going like, "No, fuck off. There's a weird big secret. I need to know about it." He opens the door. We don't see what's in there. He just goes like, "Oh my god." As like a fucking like little magic informs Doom what's happening, and Doom just goes like, "Yes, I'm Doom. I'll do Doom things." It's good. It's well written. It's fun. It's just you have to be into it to like understand why all of this stuff is important.
Yeah. Question.
Yes.
Does Thor have a like grandfather that's important in Norse mythology, or is that purely a Marvel thing?
I don't know exactly. Probably. Count that as a probably. But it's fun. It's solid. It's good enough. We both read Lazarus Planet. We once were gods.
Yeah, is it just me or is it weird that like this event has just been like big multi-story books with no real like clear through line, and like a lot of it just feels like in a normal year this would be a tie-in issue under a main character, but instead we're stuffing all these books together.
Yeah, I don't mind that as much because it doesn't interrupt the flow of the ongoing books. Girl with pink hair. On this DC book or on the Marvel book we were just on, Buster? Which one? Because I don't think there's anyone with pink hair here. No. So that's Mary Marvel.
Yeah, and that only looks pink because of the lighting. She's a brunette.
Yeah, she's a brunette. She's ruddy brown hair. Ruddy brown hair. I describe it
Yeah.
as. I will say though, this is just a bunch of little short stories. They're good short stories.
Yeah, I did enjoy most of this. The Aquaman's a little weird because it's purely just set up for the next Aquaman run.
I'm excited for
Uh,
that run though because like I might pick that up because like, oh cool, the trench are getting development.
yeah, it's actually picking up that Jeff Johns concept and doing it something with it. Um, for Excitable figure in Norse mythology. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Thanks, Aki.
So the grandfather is important.
The Martian Manhunter story, that's fucking goated. That's one of the best Martian Manhunter stories in years.
To tell a very good magic story. Yeah, the Martian Manhunter story is one of the best goddamn things. Period. Because like
Yeah.
even outside of Lazarus Planet, it is just it. It's so good.
All you have to know going into that is just like there's a thing going on that's giving normal people superpowers and it's fucking them up. And then you go read that and like it's just a great little Martian Manhunter short story. Highly recommended in a bottle. The Wonder Woman book story I could take or leave. But I did really enjoy for as much as I whinged about them having the Shazam book dovetail into this last week, I did actually really take the Shazam story.
Oh, that was fun because it was just Billy going like, "No, I want to be self-sacrificial," and going like, "Wait a second, we're magic. We can fuck shit up. All right, cool."
Yeah. We can fix this. We can fix this. And then Shazam the Wizard is apparently he's going to be a fucker.
He looks badass though.
Yeah, he looks a lot more like he does in the movies than he did the last time I remember seeing him, but maybe that's like a conscious thing.
Yeah.
Also, I dig Malik. This is my first time reading him. I know he was introduced in that Black Adam book, but like I like him as like a new champion of Shazam character. He's pretty solid.
I think like Lazarus Planet seems to be doing a pretty okay job of being like a line-wide book, line-wide event. Yeah.
It's just being presented weird is the problem.
Yeah.
Everything in it is pretty solid. It's just weird that it's happening this way.
Yeah. Because, like, we got a new status quo for Shazam and Mary Marvel. Wonder Woman's doing some cool stuff in the event that's just off to the side. It's just like, that's why Wonder Woman's not going to be a big part of the event. She's on Themyscira protecting the island. And we gotta go to fucking Martian Manhunter story.
What more could you ask for?
Yeah. I read Darkwing Duck #1.
Yeah, I was hoping to hear your thoughts on this.
What if I told you that you could get a brand new episode of Darkwing Duck with slight modern pop culture references?
I mean, I haven't watched any Darkwing Duck, but that sounds pretty good for Darkwing Duck fans.
It's exactly that. It's great.
Awesome. It has that feel. It doesn't feel weird or like there's a different voice at all.
No, it has the right kind of voice. It's a little bit more early season one than it is like later on, because it is very much, here's a really cocky Darkwing Duck that you like. And it's like, yeah, I like that cocky Darkwing Duck, but I also like the little bit of like he calmed down a little bit later on. It wasn't that bad. And I'm not saying that like it's a bad take for the character. It's fine. It's good. But basically the whole plot, they're about to give a statue for Darkwing Duck. Megavolt basically brainwashes the whole people around there with their cell phones, or they're attacking Darkwing. They have to beat Megavolt, and Goslin dresses up like Billie Eilish and plays music to draw Megavolt out.
Okay.
Legit. There's she has the green and black dyed hair, and she says like, I know it'll draw the bad guy out, and it's like, that's cute, I guess.
Yeah.
They also sing the Darkwing Duck thing, but all the words are wrong. It's a solid, it's a Darkwing Duck episode. It's a good, solid Darkwing Duck episode.
Cool. Hey, while we're on the subject, I do want to say, because I've been working my way through DuckTales 2017. I do agree with people that they kind of did Darkwing Duck dirty in that show. Like, it's not awful the way they chose to do it, but I'm not the biggest fan of just like the way it portrayed fandom culture through that. It feels like kind of outdated commentary to me.
Yeah, sure, but I think ultimately Mallard was good, and the interpretation of Negaduck is good. So,
fair enough. I'm also not finished with it yet, so we'll see.
Fair enough. I also read the final issue of Midnight Suns.
Yeah, with the new and improved young, hot, sexy Agatha Harkness I saw a bunch of people get mad about.
You can now fuck Agatha Harkness. I'm not plussed about it. It's whatever. It's there.
It's the most blatant we gotta make a thing like the movies thing I've seen in a while.
It's fine.
Even then, I don't really think of Catherine Hand being like a young, hot, sexy lady. She's more like a mom kind of person to me.
Yeah. This is very much more of like, oh, we can take an older character and just completely reboot them to do something completely different. Oh, cool. Let's take a little bit of the actress who's playing her in the MCU and just take up the internet's obsession with hot goth chicks and make this.
I did just have a horrible idea, though, upon a realization. Is she gonna show up in Fantastic Four? Are we gonna get an issue where Franklin's grappling with the fact that his old babysitter is hot now?
I hope not.
That would be hilarious and terrible.
I don't mind hot Agatha Harkness. It's not the end of the world. It is not the... How many people gave a shit about this character before this? Very little. How many people give a shit about her now? Very little. It doesn't matter. She's a hot goth chick now. Fan artists go wild.
How's the rest of the book?
It's pretty bog standard, just action adventure thing. Good fights. Solid stuff.
Did magic do anything cool?
Yeah, they all fought. They had some good stuff. It's a good costume.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: in and of itself, it's a good character.
It looks
design.
like a weird like halfway between Raven and Huntress.
Yes, but it also looks like the mischievous older sister to Scarlet Witch. You know what I'm
I can
saying?
see it. I can see it. Yeah.
Like she's the one who goes like, "Come on, Wanda, get drunk with me."
Come on, kill all mutants, have a little fun.
But it is a non-offensive little thing. That's what it is. She's Agatha Harkness. She's oh god.
Holy shit.
She's Agatha Harkness.
That is de-aged Agatha Harkness, which is a thing now.
She
Congratulations.
She did some weird magic to a bad guy. She stole the magic. She got young.
Enjoy bugging fan artists to draw her Aki.
We now have hot young goth Agatha Harkness.
Actually, come to think of it, I haven't seen anybody draw this yet. I only know about this because I saw a CBR article.
You'll start seeing more fan art when she shows up in other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, now that I think about it, in some regard, 3 of the girls in this book are hot goth magic users. Nico, Magic, and now Agatha fucking Harkness.
It's almost like that's an archetype in comics or something.
Yeah. Either way, I read Spider-Man, number 18.
How was Spider-Man? Was it spidery?
Listen, that's my language.
Oh, hi, Drake.
How you doing, Drake? So the X-Men side is good. The Spider-Man side is dumb.
What the fuck is that, like, scorpion crab thing he's fighting?
That's a demon that got turned into a fucking scorpion. Because basically, Chasm turned a bunch of demons into, like, Sinister Six versions. So, the X-Men side is all resolved. Jean Grey fucking was like, Madeline, I'll just give it to you. She's like, really? Yeah. Sweet, I'm not angry. Let's just fix all this shit. Alright, cool. Right? And so Chasm goes like, oh, so you're just gonna forget about me? And she's like, no, but like, this is done. We're done. And he's like, no, fuck you. And just like, pouts off. Halloween, whatever. She steals the fucking scythe that's like, you now control Limbo. She gives it to Chasm. He turns into a fucking demon dude. And he goes like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna fucking destroy New York. Fuck you, Spider-Man. And the X-Men and Spider-Man go like, oh, we gotta stop him. All right, cool. The only good thing on the Spider-Man thing that's been happening is Rec Rap. I love Rec Rap. Just have him be an ongoing part of the Spider-Man book, and I will put up with it. It is like having the Tick in Spider-Man. It's over soon. It's gonna be over soon.
Is it? Because I'm sure there's plenty of run left. And who is this fucker again?
Wells. Zeb Wells.
Yeah. Yeah, Wells is gonna be here a while.
No, I'm saying the Dark Web's gonna be over soon. You read Hitomi?
Yeah, new issue of Hitomi this week.
Hitomi.
This book is still pretty good.
Yeah.
What happens?
I see a sumo wrestler. I see that.
My memory real quick. Yeah, we get a bunch of the Black Samurai's backstory in this, where we see him as a boy being enslaved, and then we cut forward to the present, and then he talks a lot about his past to one of the characters that he's indebted to, basically saying that he's actually trying to leave Japan right now, and he was only going to train Hitomi for as long as he had to, but he knows this guy needs bodies for his army, so he's like, hey, if you'll finish her training for me, I'm sure she'll join up, I'm sure it'll be fine. And she's like, yeah, why are you running from the fight, you fucking coward? Because all she cares about is samurai shit and learning to be a samurai. And then she starts seeing action, and she's clearly one of the best fighters, but it's also clear that like she's not having a great time seeing people die around her all the time. And she's being led towards certain death because it's a fool's war from certain information we learn. And the Black Samurai learns that in kind of like a subplot he's on, and ultimately decides to turn around and go back for her because he doesn't want her to die because he does care about her after all.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds solid. Art good.
Yeah, I love the art in this book. Looks very much like traditional Japanese folklore art.
Nice. Oh, you're not doing the thing. You also read Batman One Bad Day, Catwoman.
Yeah, this is probably my second most anticipated one of these. The first one was obviously the Tom King Riddler one that came first. But this is G. Willow Wilson writing a Catwoman story. And I've been very vocal about the fact that I think G. Willow Wilson is a great writer. I love her Miss Marvel run, but I also think she's kind of become the Aaron Paul of comics, where she just keeps making bad choices and her projects keep fizzling out post the big thing she became known for. And I've been waiting for her to have her BoJack Horseman moment. I don't know if this is that, but this is pretty good. This is the best thing I've read from G. Will Wilson since Miss Marvel.
Is this her Hell Camino?
Possibly. But yeah, it's just a really simple story about Selina trying to steal back a thing that her mom had inherited and had to pawn off to pay bills way back when she was a kid. Because remember, Selina was orphaned at an early age and separated from her sister and blah 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 hoo-ha. But now that she's an adult,
her sister, the nun sister.
She's not portrayed as a nun in this. She's like working some kind of retail job because her sister, as an adult, does crop up in this.
Well, I mean, because her sister, like in old continuity, she was a nun.
Yeah. But Selina goes to try and steal the thing because it's apparently up for auction because the guy that they pawned it to said it was a fake because of something, but apparently it had been discovered at that pawn shop that it was actually real, and now it's up for auction to collectors, and she's like, well, I'm just gonna fucking steal it and get the money that my mom should have gotten in the first place because it can still help me and my sister. And ultimately, she gets it and she calls her sister the next day and she's like, I got mom's brooch, isn't that great? And she's like, who fucking cares? That brooch didn't even pay the electric bill and it's not going to do a lot of good for our dead mom now. Like, it's nice that you did that, but oh, this fucking customer's getting snippy with me. I'll call you back, sis. Like, it's one of those kind of interactions. And Selina's like, oh, well, at least I can still go get the money. And then she takes it to a jeweler black marketplace guy, and he's like, yeah, this is a fake. Yeah, it was actually a fake. I don't know what those people at the appraisal auction house were thinking, but this is a fake. I'm sorry. I can only give you like $200 for it, which was the same amount her mom got from the pawn shop. And she's like, God damn it, fuck this. I'm gonna go kill that dealer. I'm gonna go beat the shit out of them. And then Batman shows up and he's like, hey, I've actually been trailing this person because they've been selling fake shit for a while and they need to go to jail. You want to help me put them in jail? And she's like, no, back off and let me kick their ass before you take them to jail. And then that happens, and there's also like an emotional through line with that jeweler because she had an earlier scene at the auction where she was casing the place, talking to them. And it's all very good and like kind of sad, but in an interesting way. And it is also the only other one of these besides the Riddler one that actually understands the assignment of exploring the concept of a one bad day that led this person to be the character that they are. That being the one bad day for Selina being the day her mom had to sell that brooch out of desperation. So I dig this one quite a bit. It's not as great as the Riddler one was, but it's a really solid Catwoman story. And again, best thing I've read from G. Will Wilson in ages. I would recommend checking this out.
Nice. And I think that is all the books we read.
Yay!
Hey! Back! Would you like to tell the people where they can find you?
I will do that, but also real quick, I just want to say, Aki, I started covering her Poison Ivy run on this show, and eventually I just fell off of it because it wasn't that interesting to me. But if you really like it, more power to you. Um, but hey, if you want to check out more spicy, lukewarm takes like that, go check out my YouTube channel. I've actually got a spicy, lukewarm take video dropping later this week about a tokusatsu thing. So go subscribe and get ready for that at the Vacuuminator on YouTube. I attempt to do weekly videos talking about tokusatsu and toys and other things that interest me. I'm also on Twitter talking about that stuff at the Vacuuminator. I have a Tumblr, thevacuuminator.tumblr.com, and I post daily action figure photography to Instagram at _Vacuuminator. So check out all that stuff if you need more of this asshole.
Yeah. It was Buster. It's not a quick episode. It's 2 hours long. That's not. It's feature length.
It just feels like it went by quick because we didn't have any technical fuckery that ruined our mood in the middle of it.
Also, we only had 12 books in total to really talk about.
Yeah, I mean, and we also didn't have much to say about the Justice League episode. It was a heavy news week, though.
Yeah. Hey, howdy. I am Boingo Writer. I do a variety of content on the internet. Would you like to see some Twitch streams? Link in the description. Would you like to see my variety of social media? Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Tumblr. Those are in the description. And do you like video content? Do you like video reviews of Kamen Rider Geats that happen every week on a series called Gateway to Geats? Well, I make those. And would you like to see some scripted content? It's coming. It's coming.
He's working on it.
I'm working on it. And this has been No Price Podcast, the podcast where we talk comic books and all that kind of stuff. But we also have other podcasts. Hey, Vac, do you want to tell the people about Twit?
This Week in Tokusatsu, or Twit, is where myself and Buster discuss all the latest news and releases from the wild world of Japanese live-action special effects and superheroes. So if you like that stuff, go give that show a listen.
Hell yeah. We also have 2 other podcasts. A monthly podcast called Analytical Fanboys, where we discuss a piece of media that one of the members tells us to go read, and we talk and discuss it and analyze it in a variety of ways.
Making its triumphant return this month.
Making a triumphant return this month, this Friday. We've already announced what it's about, isn't it? Yeah, no, we talked about it on a podcast. It's about
we talked about it on our components. We're doing Chainsaw Man, boys.
Chainsaw Man. Go check it out this Friday to hear mine, Vax, Buster's, and Snowcone's thoughts about Chainsaw Man, the hit Shonen Jump manga. We also have another podcast called Components, where all 4 of those people just hang around, shoot the shit.
There's a guest sometimes.
Yeah, we interview them. It's a fun time. It's
a chill hangout flagship show.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for?
And what is those shows and more in the future? Subscribe channel, like this video, give it a comment, tell us what you think. What can we improve on? How can we make this show better for you? What can we do for you? What can we do for you?
How can you help me help you help me help you have a better experience?
Should we wear clown noses? Will that make the show better? Cat ears?
Hey, I got a supplier for those. I could make that happen.
But as always, give us a comment, do all the fucking engagement things, that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, Vac, do you have anything else you want to say?
Well, we may not have gotten to discuss it in depth on this show, but in my soul,
Enough said.